Hello everyone, welcome to Applications Manager's free training series. In today's webinar, I'm going to walk you through how to effectively track the availability and performance of websites, optimize user experience via synthetic transaction monitoring, resolve front-end issues that impact users with real user monitoring, leverage Web Page Analyzer to optimize web page performance. First, we will see how we can effectively track the availability and performance of websites. According to an article published in browserstack.com, 47% of consumers expect a web page to load in 2 seconds or less. 40% of people abandon a website that takes more than 3 seconds to load. A 1-second delay in page response can result in a 7% reduction in conversions. If your website is unavailable or has poor responsiveness, end users won't be able to engage with your website's pages or won't want to wait for them to load, which can have a significant impact on your business's reputation. Therefore, to ensure the effectiveness of your site, avoid any performance hiccups, and create a seamless digital experience for users, website performance monitoring is pivotal. Not only does it provide insight into your website's availability, but also gives you an understanding of critical metrics of your website so that you can work on improving its reliability and making it work optimally. The first step in a digital experience is the interaction that the user has with the website. So when the user tries to access it, it needs to be available. Website downtime and slowness are major causes of concern for businesses. Frequent downtimes and slowness can make your site lose credibility among loyal customers as well as create a bad first impression on first time visitors. So, what causes website downtime and slowness? Scheduled maintenance. A scheduled maintenance is a temporary period in which a site or an app is made offline or inaccessible for updates, backup, or maintenance purposes. Data center problems or internal server errors. If there's a data center problem or a server error, the request from the user may not even reach the server. Bugs in website code. The bugs in website code can cause errors and prevent the site from not loading or might cause slow loading. High traffic. If too many people are trying to access the website at the same time, it may not be able to handle the load. Hacking attempts. Hackers trying to pull any suspicious activities on your sites can cause it to go down or become slow. To prevent and tackle problems like this, you can use Applications Manager's URL Monitor. It basically acts as a continuous URL monitoring service that keeps constant watch over a specific URL or web page. It helps verify the availability of a specified addressable standard HTTP and HTTPS URL. Get instant notifications whenever your site is down. You can use it to easily monitor your website's availability to get instant notifications whenever the website goes down. You can even recheck the website status to identify and eliminate false positives. Everybody loves a fast website. With improvement in broadband speeds and the advent of super fast websites, user expectations about website speed have changed. Response time of a website determines the speed of the website. Response time is how long it takes for your web server to connect and send data packets to the browser of an end user. A website without latency can leave a good impression on customers and can help lower bounce rates too. Applications Manager's URL Monitor tracks your website's response time along with split ups such as DNS time, connection time, first byte time, and last byte time. First byte time is the time it takes for a browser to receive the first byte of the response from a web server, meaning it's a very strong indication of how fast the website is performing for that user. Applications Manager also supports root cause diagnosis. This helps you troubleshoot issues and reduce mean time to repair. Now that we have seen what the URL monitor can do, let's switch to the product UI to understand how we can we can add a URL monitor in Applications Manager. So we go to the New Monitor tab, and under Web Server or Services, click on HTTPS URL. So you can give the name of the monitor and add the URL that you want to monitor. You can specify the polling interval and timeout. For effective URL monitoring, Applications Manager provides you with advanced options. So you need to choose these options only if HTTP or HTTPS URL that you want to monitor requires a form-based authentication. So now if you have any additional parameters that require specific form submission method, you can choose between post and get. Both post and get methods are used to transfer data from client to server in HTTP protocol. The main difference between post and get is that get carries request parameter appended in the URL string, while post carries request parameter in the message body, which makes it a more secure way of transferring data from client to server in HTTP protocol. If you choose post, you have to choose the payload type as well. And there are 4 types of payloads: form, text, XML, and JSON. You can also provide request parameters if you have any. If the URL that you want to monitor requires user authentication, you can enter credentials like username and password. You can also choose to trigger an error when a specific response code is received. You can enter the response code here. By default, the response code it's chosen as greater than 200. So the error will be notified once the mentioned criteria is met. In case you want to customize the default user agent HTTP request header, you can customize it and add it here. You can also choose to add HTTP headers by specifying its name and the header value. If the URL has any SSL version, you can also choose the same. And if the URL has any client certificate authentication, you can check this box and also upload the certificate here. Applications Manager also helps you add content check option for URL. If you want a certain content to be present in the URL response, you can specify the same in the should contain box, which means during every poll, APM will check if the response contained in the specified word or expression is in the URL. If it's not found, the monitor will be made unavailable. Similarly, for the should not contain field, if the specified expression or the word that you specified is found, it will be made unavailable. And now you can also choose to associate this monitor with a monitor group, or you can just click on Add URL Monitor. So now the URL monitor has been added. Let's check how it looks. So as you can see the name of the monitor along with the address and the request method type, etc. You can see the availability here. And you have details such as average response time, current response time, and like I said, the split ups, DNS time, connection time, first byte time, and last byte time. And you also have details about the page size. The percentage of page size change as well for you to compare in case you need to, along with the previous page size. Now let's move on to the next topic: optimize user experience via synthetic transaction monitoring. Like I was saying earlier, in today's age of instant gratification, end users expect to be able to enjoy a seamless, issue-free experience on your website. Although monitoring the website availability and response time gives you a fair idea of whether your website is up and running or not, you can't know if your users are able to perform transactions without fail unless you understand the website's end user experience. This is where you need to use synthetic monitoring techniques. Here are some of the things that it helps us do. Analyze website performance from an end user perspective. Synthetic transaction monitoring involves analyzing website performance from an end user perspective, which can help you identify issues that might otherwise go unnoticed. Synthetic monitoring lets you record complex workflows to keep an eye on important transactions taking place on your website. One of the main advantages of synthetic transaction monitoring is that it can dynamically track website availability and performance from your user's location. Meeting SLAs can be an important objective for many business owners, and synthetic transaction monitoring helps you verify if these SLAs are met. Basically, it provides a line of sight on service level agreements. Now, let's see how Applications Manager's real browser monitoring facilitates synthetic transaction monitoring. Applications Manager's synthetic transaction monitoring feature opens up an actual browser like Firefox from multiple geographical locations and tracks how the elements in your website load from that location, and more specifically, the way your users view them. So the first step involves a web transaction recorder in which you can record a critical transaction. Every action that you perform while recording, be it hovering, clicking on an element, all of it will be saved in a Selenium-based script file. Applications Manager then opens up a real browser in which it plays the recorded transaction again to identify if any error occurs. During the playback, data collection takes place and all the performance metrics are then published in the monitor dashboard. It also lets you take screenshots during the playback if there are any errors. The main advantage of synthetic transaction monitoring is that it helps you test it from different locations. To facilitate monitoring in multiple locations, we make use of end user monitoring agents. So let's say we are hosting an event in your office and you've created a registration form for the same. All the employees need to register for the event, which means employees from all your branch offices should be able to do so without any hassles. To test this critical workflow of filling the form and successfully registering for the event, you can use Applications Manager's real browser monitoring feature. For that, you'll first need to install EUM agents in all your branch offices. Then you can record the transaction of filling and registering from your main office. The same transaction will then be performed in all your branch offices using these EUM agents that will then send the data to Applications Manager. This way, you can check if this workflow functions without any errors in the desired locations. Manager's end user monitoring agents basically provide greater visibility into the user experience and help detect potential performance problems with ease. The EUM agents can be installed in multiple branch offices in different cities or in the systems of your end users. All you need is a secure HTTPS connection between the agent and the Applications Manager server. Now let's see how to add a real browser monitor. So like I said, you should have installed the recording tool and EUM agents in your system. So this is how the web transaction recorder UI will look. You will need to enter the host name and the SSL port number. Then you will be prompted to enter the username and password. Here you'll need to enter the username and password of Applications Manager. So here you have an option to create a real browser monitor. You'll first need to enter the URL. So once you enter the URL, it will open up, and then you can provide or make any transactions that you want. Here, I'm just clicking on some elements. Once you perform some transactions, you can click on preview and save. And you can click on this to type the monitor name. Let me just give it as test. So you can also specify the poll frequency, the page load timeout, and you can choose from which browser you want to play back this transaction. We provide 3 options: Firefox, Edge, and Chrome. For now, let me choose Firefox. Like I said, you can also choose the EUM agents. Here I've installed an EUM agent, so only one agent is appearing. If you've installed EUM agents in different locations, all of those will be displayed. So you can choose whichever location you want from that list. So you can also choose the other boxes based on your requirement. You can choose to associate it with a monitor group, and then accept untrusted certificates. This will indicate that the website certificate is untrusted if it's not approved by the Trusted Certificate Authority. Show performance metrics. You can choose this box if you want additional metrics like page rendering time, download time, blog time to be displayed. You can also check the show screenshots option if you want your RBM to capture screenshots of your transactions to provide better insights, especially during downtime. You can also choose to add a URL sequence monitor for the same transaction, but right now we are adding a real browser monitor. So let me just click on next. So when you move on to the next screen, you'll be able to see all the transactions that you performed. So step 1, step 2, and step 3. So you have step name for each of this. And for each of these steps, you can choose to generate alerts if the keywords are present or not present. You can specify the same here. So you can do that for all the steps as well. Once you're done, you can choose to perform a test playback, or you can create a real browser monitor. Once you do that, you'll get a message saying monitor added successfully. Now that we've seen how to add a monitor, let's see how the UI of this will look. So this is the real browser monitor overview page. So here, all the EUM agents will be specified along with an overview of the steps that you performed. So when you click on this, you can see the availability and metrics like average page load time, transaction time, and page load time of each of the steps. And here you can see the steps and its page load time and its health. You can also choose to configure alarms for each of this. And here's the screenshot, and you also have metrics such as resource size percentage, resource count percentage. And then we have a waterfall chart wherein we have the components along with its status code, size, and content type. Now that we've seen how to add a real browser monitor, let's see where it can be used. So what are the use cases of synthetic transaction monitoring? Comparing your performance to competition. With synthetic transaction monitoring, you can set up benchmark scenarios to see how your applications are performing over time. You can also benchmark your company's performance against top competitors with a certain historical time frame or within a specific geographical region. This approach will help you establish a strategic outlook and preserve competitive advantage in the marketplace. Testing new features. Testing is an important and an early stage of application development. Synthetic monitoring provides a set of baselines and thresholds that will pinpoint any obstacles one is likely to face while using the application in real time. Measuring performance impact of third-party applications. Today's websites increasingly rely on third-party features such as cards, ads, customer reviews, web analytics, social networking, SEO add-ons, video, and much more to provide outstanding customer experiences. If there's a weak link in the chain or one or more of these elements are not working correctly, it can adversely impact your site. Synthetic transaction monitoring can greatly assist in helping to monitor your third party applications while also alerting you to potential or real performance degradations and downtime impacts. This helps tremendously in providing line of sight on your service level agreements in order to hold the third party vendors accountable. Finding issues before customers. Synthetic monitoring helps you to set up baseline tests in order to measure the way your customers will interact with your websites, APIs, or mobile apps. This type of testing can provide direct feedback on performance degradation or availability issues. It will also help your team locate the root cause, engage the right experts, and fix issues before they impact end users. We will now move on to the next topic, which is resolve front end issues that impact users with real user monitoring. So, what is real user monitoring? Real user monitoring refers to capturing users' interaction with a website in real time. This helps you analyze how your end users perceive your website. As businesses go digital and global, their websites are accessed from various devices and from multiple geographies. It's important to provide a consistent user experience across all geographies and devices, but in reality, the user experience could be impacted by various external factors like network latency, operational hiccups, trouble retrieving requested sources, and slow ISPs. Also, what works in one browser may not work in the other. This is where RUM comes in handy. It helps you see why your website is slow in a particular region, identify if you've overlooked any issues with your page load time, find out where and why a user abandoned a page, etc. All of this information enables you to optimize your website performance. To understand why RUM is more essential, we must understand the drawbacks of synthetic transaction monitoring. 1. It does not align with reality. Synthetic monitoring has one major weakness: it does not align with reality. Due to the fact that the nature of the traffic used for synthetic testing is not organic but synthetic, it isn't truly a representative of real user experience at any given time. Its outcome and performance are rather predictable. Because synthetic monitoring uses simulated actions, it does not predict the actions of real life customers. Consuming for incident resolution. When you receive complaints from end users in real time, synthetic monitoring does not tell you about what the end user was actually doing or experiencing. You would have to painstakingly analyze performance for every business critical transaction and create scripts for synthetic testing in order to uncover possible issues. And this sometimes can be time consuming. Narrow view of performance. Synthetic monitoring can't match the rich diversity of performance variables that exist in the real world. Because you're not monitoring actual users, you aren't really getting any data on how your product is used in the real world. All you have is simply a narrow view of application performance. So, how does real user monitoring work in Applications Manager? To facilitate data collection and reporting, RUM's remote monitoring agent is deployed in the server where the web application is hosted. Following that, a small JavaScript snippet generated by Applications Manager is placed in the header or footer part of the HTML code of the web application that you want to track. Upon loading, the JavaScript snippet acts as the core that collects the performance data and constantly transmits it to the RUM agent. The RUM agent acts as a liaison between this JavaScript code and Applications Manager's web client, which visually depicts the captured data. So, like I said, you'll need to download and install the RUM agent in Applications Manager, post which you'll have to put the snippet from the Applications Manager console. In case you're using a web application, you'll need to insert it in a common static file. If you're using a single page application, you can insert it there only. So, real user monitoring in Application Manager. So, what it does is it helps you analyze the front end performance of website across different geographies, ISPs, browsers, devices to ensure hassle-free digital experiences. It helps you become aware of user satisfaction levels using Appdex scores. It can also help you isolate web transactions that contribute to poor user experiences of the applications. You can also gain comprehensive insights about domain resources and user sessions. Then you can also identify JavaScript errors instantly to prevent users from reporting service errors. And you can also analyze and compare the impact of any new changes made in the site and how it has affected the user experience. Let's now see how we can add a real user monitor in Applications Manager. So you go to the new monitor page and under web server or services, click on real user monitor. Like I said, before you add a real user monitor, you should have installed an IUM agent and the IUM agent should be running. So you click on the display name and give a name of the monitor and let's monitor this web application itself. So let me give Appdex threshold. So Appdex is Application Performance Index, which is an open standard to measure the user satisfaction regarding a web application. It's a metric that provides a single score ranging between 0 to 1, where 0 means no users were satisfied and 1 means all users were satisfied, giving business applications owners an insight into measure of their customer happiness and satisfaction levels. Here, we're going to be giving the threshold in response time in milliseconds. So let's say we give 2000, which means that if the response time of your URL when accessed by the user is anywhere between the range of 0 to 2000, the user was satisfied. If it ranges between 2000 to 8000, that is 4 times the specified value, the response was tolerated by the user. If it's more than 8000, then the user was frustrated. So then you have to choose the application framework type. You will have two types of applications, traditional and single page. So traditional applications are the most common types of application. It involves multiple pages. For example, an Amazon application is a traditional application which involves multiple web pages in it. So every time you perform an action in this application, you'll be redirected to a new page. However, in a single page application, these are static applications, meaning it's just a single web page in which any transaction that's performed is just tracked by AJAX calls and is static in nature. Since I'm monitoring this web application, it's a static application. It's a traditional application. So let me just choose traditional. You can also choose to track AJAX calls or cross-domain AJAX calls. And then you have these options to exclude domains. As in, this can come in handy when you need not monitor any internal traffic from your own team. So here, let me give zoho.com. So you can also choose to exclude user agents. So which means you can choose to exclude users accessing from a specific browser, for example, Firefox, or you can exclude Windows users, etc. So let me just Firefox. So then track resource performance. By default, Applications Manager does not capture website resources. To capture individual resources and group it as first party, third party, and CDN resources, you can enable this option. So affect monitor availability in idle state. Every web application or a website will have a specific idle time. For example, in Applications Manager, that is the application that we want to monitor, the idle time, let's say, is 60 minutes. So if you enable this option, it means that the monitor availability will be affected when the monitor has not polled data for more than 60 minutes. Then you can choose choose to associate this with the monitor group, or you can just add the monitor. So you can see that you've added the monitor. So now let's see how the what's the look. Oh, before we do that, like I said, for any whether it's a single page application or a web application, you'll need to add a JavaScript code. So here in a static file. So for this application, this file is this app manager.js file. So I've added this JavaScript snippet here so that we can enable the monitoring. So now let's see how the data is. So this is the overview tab, the summary tab, in which you have the AppDeck score, where this is to help you analyze how your users are satisfied, whether they're tolerated or frustrated. And then you have response time, page views, and metrics like errors, and geography-wise data. So then you have the geography tab, in which according to geographical locations, you can see how the users were able to access the website, and you have average response time, AppDeck score, page views, etc. And then you can group them based on the browser type or device type. You have split ups based on the browsers, devices, etc. And in the web pages tab, you can identify transactions that contribute to poor user experiences. So if you click on each of these transactions, you get additional data where you can see split ups of the response time, and you also have the throughput data. And then user sessions. This tab basically gives you details about sessions, the username, from which browser they accessed, from which device they accessed, and the country from which they accessed, and the pages that they've navigated, along with viewing time metrics. And then you have the resources tab. Like I said, here it will be grouped as 3 different types: first party resources, third party resources, and CDN resources. And since we have chosen that we can track Ajax calls as well, you can see all the Ajax calls along with metrics like average response time, total count, throughput, etc. So, and then JavaScript errors. Here you can see the errors that occur in the web page. If you click on this, you get additional data about it, from in which file the error exists, the page, the browser, from which browser the user tried to access and got this error, from which device type, and which user, and all that. So this is basically the overview of how the real user monitor will look in Applications Manager. So now let's talk about some real user monitoring use cases. SaaS and application service providers can use real user monitoring to monitor and manage service quality that is delivered to the client. Development teams can use it to verify if the changes that are propagated to sites have the intended effect or cause errors. Quality analysts can use it to test changes within their production environment. They can also use it to spot intermittent issues that only occur under specific conditions. Site reliability engineers, also known as SREs, can use it for constant monitoring of a website to see when and where the page load time increases to prevent timeouts caused by traffic spikes. So, like I showed you in the UI, this is just a sample screenshot of the transactions that the user performs. So now let's see how synthetic transaction monitoring and real user monitoring can complement one another. Correlating business with performance. Synthetic monitoring can provide the performance data that will enable you to pinpoint problems with page load time or network bottlenecks. However, if you want to analyze exactly how web performance impacts business revenue, then you need to know more than synthetic transaction monitoring metrics. Since real user monitoring is generated through real user traffic, it provides essential insight into real business metrics such as conversion rates, which can then be correlated with the continuous performance metrics collected from synthetic testing. Identify problems before active users arrive. No matter where applications are hosted, problems are always bound to occur. Synthetic monitoring is the most effective solution to identify a configuration problem caused by an off as maintenance change so that it can be fixed before users begin using your application service in the early morning hours. On the other hand, real user monitoring would be most helpful to measure application responsiveness for each and every live user during the peak hours. Troubleshooting outages. Combining synthetic and real user monitoring data can make troubleshooting quicker and easier. When synthetic tests fail or trigger an alert, data gathered from RUM will show you the real time impact on end user experience. Similarly, if real user monitoring data reveals a performance anomaly, then you can use synthetic transaction monitoring to replicate the issue by exercising the same transaction across a number of ISPs and geographical locations. Collecting data in this way allows you to triangulate from various vantage points to identify the root cause that may lie in the data path between the end users and your application service. Real user monitoring and synthetic transaction monitoring can be used simultaneously to verify and deep dive into performance issues. Now let's proceed to the last topic of the day. Leverage Web Page Analyzer to optimize web page performance. So what is a web page analyzer and why would you need it? Synthetic transaction monitoring and real user monitoring gives you insights into website performance from an end user perspective. But Applications Manager's Web Page Analyzer monitoring service will enable you to perform web page analysis to help you keep track of your web pages and optimize web page performance using page speed rules and suggestions. This can help you identify what exactly is slowing your websites. PageSpeed Insights is an online tool which helps in identifying performance best practices on any given website. It provides suggestions on a web page's optimization and suggests overall ideas to make your website faster. The web page analyzer also supports something called the waterfall chart. So when a web page renders, it might have various components that constitute the page: CSS styles, JavaScripts, images, etc. So this web page analyzer can track the transactions that take place when all these components load. It basically gives you a visual representation of critical metrics related to each of this transaction. This will help you to understand which component loads slowly. This way, you can prevent website downtime and slowness and help the website perform optimally. The Applications Manager's Web Page Analyzer tracks and provides insights into various key metrics, such as the response time and domain summary. You will also get the page speed scores and suggestions, etc. So, what exactly happens and how does this work? During each poll, Applications Manager loads the web page in the Firefox browser in a cacheless state, and then it captures real-time data of various performance metrics of the web page. So now let's see how to add a web page analyzer monitor in Applications Manager. So you go to the new monitor page. Although Web Page Analyzer does not require an agent, you'll need to download the add-on, and then you'll have to place it in the Applications Manager home or working folder. So this will help you to get metrics for your WPA monitor. So under the new monitor page, you click on Web Page Analyzer. And you enter the URL. And you can specify the page load timeout and wait after load. So why do we need these fields? For example, if a website is heavy, the page might not load even after a long time. So it's essential that we wait for a specified amount of time alone. Otherwise, the loaded part alone is taken for monitoring and analyzing. Similarly, in some websites, there might be some non-essential elements of a web page that might load after a page is rendered. So this wait time specifies for how much time we can wait for these additional elements to load. Just like the URL monitor that we saw earlier, we can also customize the HTTP headers. You can choose from get and post. And if the URL requires any authentication, you can specify the username and password, and also specify domains that you want to block. And just like URL monitor, you can also add content check, and you can enable SSL monitoring as well. So for which you'll need to specify domains, the port, the version of the SSL, and etc. And then you can also specify the polling interval. And then you can choose to specify or associate this particular monitor with a monitor group, or you can just add the monitor. So you can see that it's been created. So now let's see how the WPA monitor looks. So here's the overview page, which gives you the web page summary, the URL that you've entered, the load time, along with the total number of requests that it has received. And if you've opted for SSL certificate, that will also be displayed here. And then you have the response time summary chart, which gives you various components of the response time, the first byte time, connection time, and page load time, etc. Then you see the domain summary. So here you have details such as domain name along with its IP address and the number of requests that it's received, and the average response time, throughput, etc. So this is the waterfall chart that I was talking about. So like when I said every page, when it renders, it has various components. So each of these components will load in a different time. Each of this will have its own response time, network latency, etc. So from this chart, you will be able to identify which component of the page loads slowly. So you can choose to optimize it or remove the element if it's not necessary. Then you have the resource details. Here you have the type of requests along with the number of requests. So like I said, all of these are components of specific web pages. So the details are given here. And then you can also choose to, capture screenshots, which are like displayed here, along with the resource size percentage and resource count percentage. And then we have page speed insights. So like I said, it helps you, understand where you can optimize your page. So page speed score for an entire web page and for individual components of the page is given here. So they have grades as well. These grades can vary from A to D, and the score can vary between 1 and 100, where 100 is considered a perfect score, and a score of 90 or above is considered good, and a score between 50 to 90 indicates that the page needs improvement, and a score below 50 indicates that the page is poor. So for scores below 100, you can get suggestions to improve and optimize page performance. So for example, since it's C, if you click on this, you can see how you can improve or optimize this particular component. So yeah, this is the web page analyzer in Applications Manager. Here's a sample screenshot. I just explained this to you in the UI. So now we'll see a quick recap of what we've seen in the webinar so far. We understood how we can monitor individual URLs for better user experience. So last week we talked about APM Insight, which is real-time transaction level monitoring tool. And this week we've talked about transaction monitoring from the front end, where we discussed about RBM and RUM, wherein synthetic transaction monitoring can help you analyze critical workflows, and you can even use it to go beyond the app-only view. And then we saw about real user monitoring, which can help you understand real-time user experiences. And then finally, we saw about the web page analyzer, which helps you understand what you can do to optimize and improve your web page. So we've come to the end of the webinar. So thank you so much for joining with us today and spending your time with us.